classe, we're actually going to take some notes over our vocab. We usually don't do that. We usually just have grammar notes, but there are a few things in our vocab that we do need to make sure we understand. And the first is a couple of verb conjugations. And the first verb I want to talk about is the verb mantenerse, which is to maintain or stay. And it's a part of our vocab phrase, mantenerse in forma, to stay in shape or in form, the way it sounds. And because the verb tener is inside of it, there's a couple of things that you already know. What do you know about tener? Well, it has an irregular yo and an E to IE stem change. And also by looking at mantenerse, you can see that it's also what type of a verb? Reflexive. And you know that reflexive verbs need reflexive pronouns. So, where I have these two boxes here, I would like you to give me a present tense chart for mantenerse and a preterite tense chart for mantenerse in your notes to get full credit. So again, if tener has an irregular yo, which you know is tengo, the yo form of mantener is going to be mantengo. And then of course you're going to need to use the reflexive pronouns and stem change it appropriately inside the rest of the boot. So what's going to happen to mantenerse in the preterite? Well, if it's got tener inside of it, you know tener is a teacup and it's tuve, so you're just going to put man in front of tuve and the appropriate teacup endings. Go ahead and put those charts probably in pencil in your notes so that we can correct them in class if we need to. And the next verb that we're going to conjugate in both the present and the preterite is seguir, which means to follow or continue, and it's a part of our vocab phrase to follow or to have a balanced diet. So, what do you need to know about it? Well, in the present tense, it has an irregular yo, and it's an E to I only stem changer. So what I would like you to do in this left-hand chart space is to conjugate it in the present tense, but leave the yo form blank. I'm going to have to tell you what the yo form is, so leave it blank. And then in the rest of the boot, stem change it from E to I. Common mistake is that people forget about the U. But if I conjugate a verb, I get rid of the infinitive ending. What I'm left with is called the stem, and the stem of seguir ends with the letter U, so don't leave it out. It belongs there. And then, knowing that the verb is an E to I only stem changer in the present tense, and it's an IR verb, you know it's also going to be an E to I only stem changer in the preterite, and instead of the boot, in the slipper. So please carefully fill in your charts for this. Moving on, press pause until you're ready to move on. But I'm moving on. We also need to talk about our verb doler, which we use in English to say like to hurt, but literally it means to cause pain to someone. You know that it works like gustar, so the only forms we're going to use of it are duele and duelen. And I've got some practice sentences for you, but before I do that, I just want to point out to you that you already have gustar notes. You probably already have them labeled with a post-it. You have notes that look like this that say that gustar sentences work backwards. Your subject is over here, and depending on what your subject is, use gusta or gustan. You have to have an IOP, and if you want to, it's optional. You can have clarification or emphasis. We have this like flow chart, I don't know exactly what to call it. And then in your notes we also have just plain old formulas. If what is the subject is a singular noun, you write it like this: IOP plus gusta plus el or la. Just pointing that out to you. Knowing that, let's go back to our sentences. First example sentence, in English we would say my leg hurts, but you have to sort of rephrase it. Like in me gusta la pizza, we know we would say I like pizza, but you're saying pizza is pleasing to me. So literally, that's what the LIT stands for, is literally the leg is causing pain to me. How would we figure this out? Well, because it works like gustar, I'm going to put my subject all the way to the right. And I'm saying the leg is causing pain to me, so it is causing pain to me. What's the it form of gustar? Duele or duelen? It's going to be duele. And it's happening to me, so I need an indirect object pronoun. What IOP do I need? May. Right now that sentence is complete, but if I wanted to, I can add clarification or emphasis here, and you know you can't yo, you me. So that is our sentence. For the next one, it hurts me. skip a line, probably 2 lines to leave your answer, and then another blank line in between to keep your notes nice and neat. But I would like you to try these sentences. If you can't do them, we are going to go over them in class. So you need to copy down the example sentences, skip a line where your Spanish will go, and then skip one more line to keep your notes nice and neat. Next, how would we say my leg really hurts or my leg hurts a lot? Skip those 2 lines. My legs hurt. Now it's legs plural. Skip another 2 lines, and now I want you to say Juan's legs hurt. And again, try them if you can. For once, I'm not going to require them, but I would like you to try. You're going to get more out of it if you do. And then maybe you won't feel behind if your classmates already know it. And then I want to talk about the phrase picarle, which means to be itchy to someone, and it also works like gustar. And we're just going to do one example sentence for this one. Your eyebrows are itchy. Weird sentence, I know, but I would like you to write that down and leave room underneath to go over these sentences. So your notes should now have all this information and maybe even your attempts at the Spanish sentences. Give it a try.